Caitlin Clark, Fever bounce back from tough opening night loss to beat Sparks. The Indiana Fever bounced back from their season-opening loss with a comfortable 87-78 road win over the Los Angeles Sparks on Wednesday night. Led by Caitlin Clark's 24 points and 9 assists and Kelsey Mitchell's 23 points, the Fever avoided an 0-2 season start after losing to the Dallas Wings and will return to Indianapolis for a 4-game homestand. Los Angeles cut the margin to single digits in the fourth quarter but never truly threatened to change the outcome despite Kelsey Plum's 25 points. Indiana even survived a night when Aaliyah Boston failed to hit a field goal for the first time in her career. Here is what we learned from the Fever's win. Caitlin Clark moving well. Clark spoke pre-game about the confidence she gained from the first game of the season when her back tightened up before she returned and played 8 more minutes. "It's going to take me a little bit to really get over this mental hurdle of trusting my body," Clark said after playing 30 minutes and running 4.6 miles against Dallas, per her team's tracking metrics. Clark looked plenty comfortable on the court against the Sparks, despite wearing a wrap around her back during starting lineup introductions. She was getting to the basket easily to start, leading to a couple of runners to get her on the board. Her footwork was clean in the post, and she had a nice crossover past Ray Burrell. "I feel like my speed and my burst is back, and that helps me get downhill," Clark said post-game. LA tried to target her on the other end, but she held up well in isolation and picked off a couple of passes to create transition scores. The 3-ball wasn't exactly working for Clark, who hit just 1 of 7 attempts, but she was efficient inside the arc, making 8 of her 10 two-pointers. "My shot feels great, and I feel like it's right there," she said. "The best thing I can do for this team is play make." Clark committed 5 turnovers, a couple of which happened when she simply miscommunicated with new teammates. Overall, her offensive game looks to be on track, even if the opponent wasn't the toughest test. Indiana D takes a step. The only credit coach Stephanie White gave the Fever's defense was that it was better than in their first game, despite Clark's protestations that if the Fever give up 78 points every night, they'll win plenty of games. White said Indiana was a little too foul-hoppy and didn't start the game defending ball screens well. She did appreciate the improvement in transition defense, with the Fever surrendering just 11 fast break points as opposed to 25 against Dallas. Indiana forced LA into more mid-range jumpers than 3-point shots, a huge defensive win. The Fever caused 19 turnovers and allowed only 4 offensive rebounds. The Sparks didn't exactly make defending difficult for Indiana, but many positive indicators emerged for the Fever heading into Friday's matchup against the Washington Mystics. Sparks' puzzling offense. Even as LA struggled to put together stops during the 2025 season, the promise of Lynn Roberts' offensive system was clear. The Sparks created high-quality shots at the rim and from beyond the arc and make teams work defensively, even if they gave it all back on the other end. That hasn't been the case through the first 2 games of 2026. The defense is still below par, but the offense is, too. The ball isn't moving for LA, and that means scoring is taking place in isolation instead of off assists. The Sparks had 13 assists on 28 made field goals, compared to 19 turnovers, and aren't creating looks from beyond the arc. They only took 15 3-point attempts, a total that should be at least twice as high considering the offense they're running, and the shot distribution is a little awkward, with Nneka Ogwumike finishing with just 5 field goal attempts compared to 16 for Plum and 10 for Burrell. It looked like an overcorrection from the opener against the Las Vegas Aces, when Burrell didn't take a shot in the first half. New roster additions who aren't familiar with Roberts' system, she compared the growing pains to a teenage awkward phase, is part of the issue, but the blemishes need to clear up soon for LA to accomplish its stated goal of making the postseason.